The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watchering on SeeingEagles.com as the Lady Eagles get ready to travel to Queens on Saturday. And Coach, travel really the big story over the next couple weeks of this season. A lot of challenging contests in that stretch. How do you handle the travel here over the next couple weeks after the first semester was a lot of home matches for you?
I mean, that's a good question. Obviously, if you're going to finish high in our conference, you got to win games on the road. And you look at LMU, for example. I mean, they've won some really tough games on the road, and that's why they find themselves in the position they're in. And we've done okay on the road, but we still have a lot of the top teams left in our conference. We got to go to their place, and we've got a tough February, but I still think we're going to be playing a lot of meaningful games in the month of February, which is what you're always shooting for.
You mentioned those meaningful games. It's been because this January, right now, 2 losses, 5 wins. If you get a win on Saturday at 6-2, and potentially February, you could have maybe the best month of February that you've had since you've been here. We talked about that at the beginning of the year. How do you feel like this team is set up for the stretch run?
Well, for one, I think they're all invested and bought in what we're trying to do. I mean, the loss at LMU hurt them badly the other night. It was a rivalry game, and it was a game that could have really helped us. And like I said, we've given credit to LMU for their play, and they finished down the stretch. And so, coming back at Christmas, I wasn't real sure what our value was between winning and losing, and now I don't have any question whatsoever that when we go on the road and when we're playing, they know what we're playing for and what's at stake, and I feel like we have all 12 guys that are all together and all in to try to win, and that's what they want to do. And so as a coach, I feel very good about where our team is in that standpoint.
I know we've talked about not underestimating opponents this season, but it's a Queens team that you beat by 28 earlier this year. You shot over 60%. They've lost 4 of their last 5 coming into this weekend, and they are led by Mikel Oliverio. What do you do as a coach to make sure that after the LMU game you get off to a hot start on Saturday?
Well, once again, one of the things that I think our team has done pretty well this year, especially on the road, is we have not looked at the record of the opponent we're playing. We've always talked about what they're capable of doing, what they have done. And Queens is a very dangerous basketball team. I mean, they've played a lot of the top teams in our league very tight. They played LMU very tight at their place. I mean, they only lost by 12 at Anderson the other night. It's 14 to Wingate. I mean, those are close games against some very talented basketball teams, and they're much better now than they were when they came here. They didn't have Shine Logan playing. I don't think Maggie Stewart played very much. Minnie McNeese was coming back, and of course she torched us in the second half with 20-something points. So this is a very challenging game for us. It's on the road. It's at their place, and our players know that if we don't go ready, as usual, we're not that type of team. We can't show up and beat anybody. We have to show up and play a really good basketball game to beat everybody in our conference, and hopefully we'll be ready to do that.
Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck Saturday.
Thank you.
He's Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watchering on SeeingEagles.com.